With John Cena's final appearances for WWE announced and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Asked if her career in pro wrestling is over, Ronda Rousey told the Lapsed Fan podcast, "Pretty much, I'd say so. I got into WWE because I wanted to be able to wrestle with my girls, you know, the 4 horsewomen, and be able to wrestle with my friends. And they kind of dangled that carrot for my whole run and never let it happen. And then the second run, they kept dangling it, and then by the end, I was like, I'm leaving unless I can wrestle with Shayna Baszler, and that's how I was able to do it at all." Talking about how she stepped away from pro wrestling due to her family, Rousey said, "That's what made me have to step away, because it got to the point where I'm just like, they're never going to allow me to make it as good as it can be, and like meeting them halfway in this range of mediocrity is like crushing my soul, so I can't continue to do that, so I'm going to go be awesome and do other things. I'll take everything that I learned from pro wrestling and apply it elsewhere into my other passions, you know, in comics and fight choreography and in film and screenwriting and all of these things. If anything, it was like I was doing like a sabbatical, when you go off and you study something for years and come back and utilize what you learned. That was my wrestling sabbatical." When it comes to Will Ospreay's upcoming surgery, Ringside News wrote that Will Ospreay has been taking time off after AEW x NJPW Forbidden Door so that he can undergo surgery. As speculation about his future continues, the timeline for his next surgery has been revealed. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Will Ospreay will undergo neck surgery in the next few weeks to repair herniated discs he has been dealing with for about a month. The operation will sideline him for a significant amount of time as he recovers. Ospreay's final match before the break took place at Forbidden Door on August 24th, where he was part of the winning team in the brutal Lights Out Steel Cage main event. After the match, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli launched a vicious attack on him as he was written off television. This comes after Will Ospreay admitted he might have to scale back on his high-flying moves after surgery. Ospreay's neck surgery marks an important turning point in his career, as it may change how he wrestles in the future. Fans will definitely miss seeing him in AEW and NJPW, but his health is the top priority. When he finally makes his return, it will almost certainly be one of the most highly anticipated returns in wrestling. Providing an update on the lawsuit brought by Hulk Hogan's son Nick against Bubba the Love Sponge, Ringside News said Nick Hogan sued Bubba the Love Sponge in order to block the release of his upcoming Hulk Hogan documentary. As it turns out, Nick Hogan actually scored a legal victory in the lawsuit. According to TMZ, Nick Hogan has earned a small victory in his civil case against Bubba the Love Sponge. A federal judge in Florida ruled that Bubba cannot, at least for now, use footage from Hulk Hogan's sex tape in his planned documentary Video Killed the Radio Star, The Untold Story of the Hulk Hogan sex tape scandal. Nick, representing his father's estate, argued that the project infringes on Hulk's copyrights and trademarks and would violate a previous settlement agreement between Hulk and Bubba. The judge agreed in part, granting Nick's emergency motion for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction to block the use of the tape. However, Bubba is still allowed to release the documentary as long as the sex tape is excluded. The court also ordered Nick to post a $500,000 bond, which could be used to cover damages if Bubba ultimately wins the case. This comes after Bubba the Love Sponge claimed that Nick Hogan sued the wrong guy in the lawsuit, since Bubba neither produced nor owns the film. Nick Hogan's latest court win is an important step in protecting Hulk Hogan's legacy from being dragged back into the sex tape scandal. Although Bubba the Love Sponge's documentary is still allowed to move forward, the judge's restrictions remove its most controversial part. The legal battle isn't finished, but for now, Nick has picked up a meaningful victory. Explaining why WWE has been wanting AJ Lee to return to the company, this was said on WrestleVotes Radio. We are also told this isn't the first time WWE has tried to bring her in since CM Punk returned in November of 2023, but this is the first time the company has pushed for it in such a big way, as they feel like her return can generate significant buzz heading into the ESPN debut. This is the first time they've really pushed her to come back to make a decision that they wanted to hear the yes word, and they got it, so she's on her way back. Previously, Fightful Select reported this regarding Lee's return. We were told this isn't necessarily a one-off, and the WWE hopes that they can do more with her, but even if that's it, they're happy to have her involved again. There are many staff and talent who spoke to us about Lee, and said that they hadn't spoken to her or seen her since she left, but that she maintained very pleasant exchanges with them over the years. There were a number of women's wrestlers specifically who grew up on AJ Lee who were very excited. One veteran that actually never got to work with AJ said that they were shocked it happened, because CM Punk would usually dismiss when he would be needled about it, but they felt like that was more of him being respectful and supportive of whatever his wife wanted. Going over Britt Baker returning to AEW, Ringside News noted that Britt Baker hasn't been seen on AEW television for almost a year at this point. While there's no indication she'll be back anytime soon, it appears that the doctor is at least ready for her return. While speaking during a Fightful Select Q&A session, Sean Ross Sapp noted that Britt Baker has remained in shape throughout her absence and is ready to make her return to AEW television. Sapp noted that with AEW and ROH having 5 women's titles right now, many think this is the perfect time to bring her back. Sapp also said her break has been good for both sides, giving them time to reset. Since she still has over a year left on her contract, now might be the best time for her return. This comes after rumors suggested Britt Baker was actively trying to leave the company, but AEW president Tony Khan shot those down fast. Khan confirmed Baker had never talked to me about leaving, and explained that her absence is simply due to AEW's rotating talent policy. He added she'd return when the time is right. AEW announced its September 24th episode of Dynamite will take place at the Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh, so it remains to be seen whether Baker will return during that show, as many believe that if she doesn't return on this episode, it's unlikely she'll ever come back. Former WWE star Matt Riddle talked about why he would not be showing up to the Global Wrestling Kingdom charity event, where he reacted to a story that he ripped off the promoters. Most of you MFers are dumb, just like when you believe that Me Too BS, all the other garbage. You guys are all dumb and it's insane. It's insane. Believe these creeps? Whatever, dog. At the end of the day, I'm gonna keep getting booked. Now, another event that he was advertised for has released a statement on Facebook canceling Riddle's booking. In light of recent public statements made by Matt Riddle regarding the topics of SA and DV, SuperCon has made the decision to cancel his appearance at this year's convention. The statements that were made in no way represent our organization or event and are not aligned with the mission, vision, and values of our organization. Fans that have purchased photo ops in advance for Matt Riddle will be automatically refunded this week to their original form of payment. SuperCon has always strived to be a safe and inclusive space and event for all to feel welcome, including those that have been affected by SA and DV. This is why we, along with New Sound Wrestling, will be donating 10% of the proceeds from all Supermania tickets sold to the Compass Center to support the work they do in our community for survivors and victims. Giving details on Brock Lesnar's recent signing with WWE, Dave Meltzer said this in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. A correction regarding Brock Lesnar. Lesnar actually just signed a new contract to return. He was getting paid on his prior contract long after they stopped using him, but that deal did expire and he actually was a free agent for months until the new deal was signed. They couldn't extend the prior deal due to injury like with others because he wasn't injured and it was their choice not to use him. They were like, likely very confident that Lesnar would sit tight and not entertain an AEW offer, or because of the allegations in the lawsuit, they were confident that Tony Khan would not make a pitch to him, nor Lesnar make a pitch to Khan when he was a free agent. When the decision was made by legal not to use him, there was evidently no point in their minds to offer a new contract. When legal cleared him, then they made an offer for a new contract for very limited dates. John Cena's final appearances were announced by WWE, with it said on X, as part of his farewell tour which comes to an end this December. John Cena will make his final appearances in Boston on November 10th at TD Garden and New York City at the Garden on November 17th. WrestleVotes added, John Cena's final match is set for Saturday night's main event on December 13th, live from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.